Hey guys, it's Makeshift. I'm pretty excited because I just received my new Shannon swatch set in the mail. There's 21 new Shannon colors that come on this swatch set, and I'll put a link in the description to where I bought it, but these things are really hard to find because you can only get them directly from Shannon and you have to have a seller account with Shannon to be able to get them. So you pretty much have to get them secondhand unless you are a business registered with Shannon Fabrics. So I got mine from Plush Addict and they're in the UK, and even though I'm in the US, I got mine in about 10 days. So that was pretty great, but I'll put a link, but probably gonna be sold out, but you can monitor that website in the future. Whenever they release new colors, I highly recommend just stalking the website and waiting for the new swatch sets to drop. So I'm just going to show you the new colors that came out and compare them to some of the old colors. So maybe it'll help you if you can't get your hands on one of these or if you don't want to buy one. And I recorded this under daylight and I tried to show the color as best as I could to what I see in real life, but everyone's colors on your monitor are going to be different, so take all this with a grain of salt. This is golden. It's one of the new colors and it is very similar in name to gold, which is an older color, which is right here. And the old gold is much more saturated and orangey yellow toned than the new golden, which is more cool than the old gold, which is more warm. So here they are next to each other, and just to move the pile around and give you different angles. Here is Gingher, which is one of the colors I'm most excited about, which is a nice orangey brown color. Fills in a nice gap where you didn't really have this type of brown before in Shannon. And here is Gingher next to Rust on the left, which is an older color, so you can see how Rust is more orange than the Gingher, which is more brown toned. Here is Cardinal, which is one of the new reds. It is very, very saturated red color. And this is compared to Scarlet, which was the most red color before, so you can see how it's a bit darker but more saturated, almost more on the cool side of red. Here is Rose Quartz, which is going to be in a similar vein to like the Dusty Rose. That is one of my favorite colors. And this is Dusty Rose, so you can see how Dusty Rose is much more pink than the Rose Quartz, which is more of a like an antique-y pink kind of feel. Warm in nature. Here is Cerise, and this is an absolutely gorgeous color. It's a hot pink, but it's not obnoxious at all. It's kind of hard to describe. It has a really beautiful sheen to it. And even though it's hot pink, it does have some cool undertones. And this is gonna be your kind of your replacement for the Shocking Pink, which was discontinued, and that's here on the bottom. So they're very different colors, but this Cerise is definitely the brightest pink out there. And right next to it is Fuchsia. And again, it's like it is hot pink, but it's also pretty cool at the same time, whereas the Fuchsia is more warm based. And here it is next to Magenta. And also next to Raspberry. Here is Wildrose, and they really seem to be getting into these antique, cool pinks and purples here, which is, this one's a more desaturated, cool purple color, and it fits well with the Dusty Rose, which is right next to it here. And they also have Woodrose, which is more pink, antique-y, cool, and less saturated color next to the Wildrose. They go really nicely together. and then Rose Water, which is one of the older colors. So these 4 really pair nicely. And the Rose Water is extremely pale, cool pink. Here is Plum Wine, which is one of the new purples. It's a dark purple. It does have some color to it, unlike some of the other dark purples they have. Unfortunately, still no warm purple though. But this one has a little bit more red undertone than some of the other dark purples, so it is a little bit more warm than, say, Berry, which is another one of the new colors. So here is Berry on the bottom, and here is Plum Wine. So this is a dark, cool purple here. It's the Berry. Here is Bellflower. This color I don't really understand. So here it is next to Jewel, which is an old color, and they're extremely similar. So it's another more cool purple. It is lighter than the Jewel, which is an old color. Maybe a hair more warm than the Jewel, but honestly, if I would have been given these side by side, I would have thought that the Bellflower was just a different dye lot of the Jewel. So here's the Bellflower. Here is Viola. It's also the backing card of this swatch set that I got, which is why you're seeing more than just this cut here. But again, another cool purple, very blue as well. It's kind of like a cross of a royal blue color with some purple in it. For example, here it is next to Eggplant, which is an old color. So you can see how it's more blue. And next to Purple. So this really brings out how blue it is. Here is Ink. It is a very, very dark blue, almost black color. So you think black with some undertones of blue, that's what this ink color is. It's pretty nice. Not sure what I would ever get to use it for, but I do like this color. Here it is next to Navy, which is an older color. See how it's darker, but still blue toned. Here is Marlin, so this is very, very blue. When you think of blue, this is probably the way you're gonna go. The next color I can think of that was this similar to blue was maybe Electric Blue, which was a bit paler. So here it is next to Electric Blue. So you can see how it is more saturated than the Electric Blue here. And here it is next to Royal Blue. So it's a bit darker, more saturated. And next to Midnight Blue, so lighter than Midnight Blue. So here is jeans, so they now have both a jeans color and a denim color. Just kind of silly, but it's a more antique-y, cool blue. It's less gray than the denim is, which is right here. Here is Lake, which is pretty similar to French Blue, which is an old color. It's a bit more green, a bit lighter, but again, these are so similar that I even question why they made them, and I would have thought that they were from different dye lots. So, and here's French Blue, and here is Lake. Here is Aquamarine, which is a very saturated, bright blue, very tropical feeling. It's pretty similar to the dark turquoise, but it's a bit lighter in color. And here it is next to Belize, which is one of the older colors, and the Belize is more green than the Aquamarine. And again, the Aquamarine. Here is Basil. It has more color to it than, say, the Olive, which is right next to it, or the Hunter, which is here. So it's a very nice green color. It's definitely different from the other greens that they've had before. Here is Cocoa, which is one of the new brown colors. It is a very pale, cool, desaturated brown color. Here it is next to Brown, which is an old color. And then here is Simply Taupe, which I absolutely hate this name because there's a taupe and now there is a Simply Taupe. So I don't know why they couldn't have come up with something different, but again, it is very cool, desaturated brown, lighter than the Cocoa here. They complement each other very nicely. And here it is next to Old Taupe. So this Old Taupe is definitely much more warm than the new Taupe. Very, very different color. Here is Pewter, which is one of the new dark gray colors, and I was really hoping that this would be darker than ash and fit between ash and black, but it's not. It's very similar to ash. It's a bit warmer in tone than the ash, so here's the ash that's a bit cooler than the Pewter here, so I'd say it's about similar darkness level. It's just a different underlying tone to it, so pretty disappointing in my opinion. It's almost a bit brown of an undercolor to it. And then finally we have Sterling, which is just yet another silver color. It's pretty similar to Platinum, which is here. It's a bit cooler than Platinum. And next to Silver, so it's a different shade overall. These don't really complement each other very well. And some different views of Sterling. So I hope this was helpful for those of you who haven't seen the new colors and maybe can't get a swatch set like this, or maybe don't want to because they do tend to be pretty expensive. There are a couple colors that aren't included that are new. One of them is Wineberry and one of them is Alloy, and those are both only available in extra wide, and for whatever reason they're not included in this swatch set. So there's still a couple colors out there that I haven't seen. Excited to get this new swatch set in the mail. They're pretty hard to find, so whenever I get my hands on an updated one, it's a good day. So thanks for watching. See you next time.